The very first step in my 7-step approach to self-hypnosis is to stop. Let me show you what that looks like. Stop. Not that much to see, is there? This was inspired, first of all, by the mini mindfulness practice of Jon Kabat-Zinn. Some of you will have heard that name. He popularized the practice of mindfulness, sharing it with Google, many other powerful companies and influencers around the world. And in his practice, stop stands for stop, that's the S. T is for take a breath. O is for observe what's happening. And P is for proceed with your day. This is a fantastic little technique that, if practiced, if used, can allow you to create a little oasis of peace, calm, wherever you are. It's like sitting, at the eye of the hurricane. For our purposes with self-hypnosis, one of the things we're often looking to do is to change our state. And if we wish to change our state, a useful first step is to disrupt your current state. I found the easiest, most efficient, and kind of least invasive way to do this is to practice just the first 2 parts of Jon Kabat-Zinn's technique. So the first thing I do is say to myself, stop. And I say that in this kind of commanding tone. Stop. If I was moving, I would stop. Stop. My eyes are generally open at this point. I may repeat it. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Put everything down. Stop. I then imagine a stop sign. If you can think of a traditional traffic sign, the red sign, white lettering, stop. It's not that you have to vividly visualize it or anything like that. But I think of this stop sign just arriving right in front of me. No argument, no space, nowhere to go. So what you saw me do was actually make a sound as if that's happening. And my hand coming toward my face quickly just kind of encourages my eyes to close. Stop. So that's the S. We then come to taking a breath. My breathwork teacher said something of real value to me once. He said it's not that it's a deep breath or a full breath. It's that it's a conscious breath. It's a breath that you are consciously choosing to take. And I'm rather taken with a very particular approach to breathing that he shared with me, which he calls 6-6 breathing. That's breathing in through the nose for 6 seconds, no holding, and out through the nose for 6 seconds. For most of us, breathing in for 6 seconds and out for 6 seconds equates to slowing the breathing down. In fact, if you breathe at that rate, you'll be taking just 5 breaths per minute, whereas many of us will be taking 10, 12, 15, some people even more than that per minute. By slowing the breathing down, we create a very particular effect on a tiny part of the brain I will talk about in another video. This part of the brain sends a cascade of soothing signals down to the various systems of the body. It's a wonderful way of letting the organism know everything's okay. So I stop. I put everything down. I slowly inhale for 6 seconds. Notice as I inhale, my chest isn't filling. My shoulders aren't rising. Sometimes I'll place a hand on my tummy, because really what you should feel is your tummy rising on the inhalation and your tummy falling on the exhalation. You can also conduct the inhalation with a rise of the hand and conduct it with a lowering of the hand. But these are additional practices. I'm going to share a series of videos that go much deeper into the variety of applications for this approach. But right now, what I want you to master is the ability to stop. I sometimes say to people I'm sharing self-hypnosis techniques with, if you could just master this very often, it will be all that you need. I mean that. Mastering this isn't about just, intellectually getting these 2 steps. It's about practicing this, practicing it in different environments, practicing it when there's a cacophony of noise, urban, traffic around you. It's about practicing this when you don't need to do it. It's about practicing this before you launch into activity. Now, we can certainly find other ways to stop. Remember, the key is to disrupt your current state before we begin to pile on suggestions and engage our imagination to get toward another. So practice, stop, put everything down. Inhale for 6 seconds, as if you're sipping the air, and then exhaling for 6 seconds. Remember, that is just 5 breaths per minute. And let me know how you feel afterwards. And let me know if you find places that you can stop and experience its wonderful effects.